I debated whether to record this video or not. We're during the holiday season. As you can tell, wearing the old holiday beard. A little lazy to shave during the holidays and enjoying a couple of sleeping days. But something's come up that's brought me out of my holiday hibernation, if you will. GoDaddy back in the news. Now, who is GoDaddy? They are probably the largest domain registration company. So if you go to register your company's name, your companyname.com or .ca or whatnot, you have to use a registrar. And GoDaddy happens to be one of the biggest registrars in the world. Well, they made news a couple of months back because their people were tricked by phone calls asking for support to update some of their DNS records. And DNS records just is like the traffic cops. If I type in yourcompanyname.com, it goes to what's called the name server, and the name server points over to where your actual website is. These are called DNS records. So I'm a scammer, and what they were targeting was very specific. They were going after Bitcoin exchanges or digital currency exchange companies. So the bad guys had looked up these companies, found a bunch that were hosted at GoDaddy, or at least the DNS was. So they called GoDaddy and convinced their support people that they were from that company and that they were updating the website, and please change all the traffic from going to that website. We want it now going to this website. And the support people updated it. Now, what problem did that cause? Well, you're probably sitting there going, that's a bad thing. And you're right, it is. Because if I was going to mybitcoin.com, where I have an account, and I had 10,000, 5,000, 200 bucks, maybe you just had a couple of bucks, whatever it is, you had an account with money in it. And you typed in the website that you normally would. It's the legitimate website. But instead of going to the actual company site, you got redirected by the DNS, which we trust. The system, the whole setup of the internet is to trust these DNS records. Why it's one of the reasons why it's so important to make sure that you own your domain name and you have full control over the DNS records. Anyways, getting a little off track. You type in this legitimate spot, but you end up on the hacker's website. Now, the hacker's website would be made to look very similar to where you're trying to go to. But it would say your password's wrong, or you need to reset the password, or whatever the case is. What the hacker's end game was to get you to their fake website so that you would enter in your username and your password, because guess what? Now the bad guys have got control of your actual account at the real site, where the money is, which is what the whole end game was. They wanted to steal the money. Okay, that happened a couple of months ago. GoDaddy says, hey, we got to start training our people so that they're more in tune with cybersecurity. Let's start doing some, even though this problem was vishing, phone calls that came in, let's start training our people, get that culture of security getting built, something that I preach about all the time. You should try to be building a culture of security. They started using simulated phishing attacks. A good thing. Okay? Like we do that with a lot of our clients, which is we take found, known phishing emails, and phishing emails are just emails that are designed to mimic someone of authority, a boss, the IT department, the bank's fraud department, the post office, UPS saying they delivered a package. They're trying to mimic some other spot that we would go, oh, okay, that makes sense, and you click a link or you'd fill in your username and password. This is a phishing email. They're throwing out the phishing line, seeing what they can reel in. That's the term phishing. So GoDaddy says, all right, we're going to test our people. We got to start building this culture of security. And I can tell you what I have found is that it takes usually 2 or 3 failed phishing tests before staff members start going, oh, I better start really paying attention to these links. I know they keep saying, don't open attachments unless you know who they're from, and you're supposed to call and verify them, and you shouldn't click the link. You think before you click it, hover over the link. But people are so busy. Things are coming at them all the time. They're clicking them, they're doing them, which is why you do the testing. Because what we found, as they said, is 2 or 3 times that they click a link and they get told, hey, this is the IT department. You kind of click that link. Here's some more training, and this is why it was a fake. They start kind of getting used to it. Like, oh, I really need to be looking at this stuff. Oh, they're telling me that it could cost the company, thousands and thousands of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars. It could cost me my job. Clicking the wrong thing or opening up the wrong attachment could cause ransomware or some other major hack that could literally bring that company to its knees. It could be an end of business event. It's that serious now with these emails. It can lead up to that. Not every one of them is that bad. I'm not saying if you click on the wrong thing that you've just ended the world. No. But it can be that serious, which is why we need to be building that culture of security. GoDaddy took it to an extreme, though. Kind of getting some bad publicity around this. Again, their first test, or as far as we're aware, their first test, a simulated phishing test, was an email pretending to be from themselves, telling their staff about a Christmas bonus of a couple $100. And the wording that I saw, kind of dirty. Okay, it really was kind of dirty. Yes, the bad guys are going to try to play on people's emotions. 100% guaranteed. If I was going to try to phish GoDaddy, I would try to pretend to be coming from management in a very same way of what they did. But what got a little bit dirty about it was when they wrote the email, they used some information that would typically only have been known within the company. Okay? Which kind of gave it an extra bit of credence as to be a real email. Long story short, it said, hey, we know it's been a rough year. They've been working from home since the pandemic hit. They haven't been in the office. They're thanking their staff for being loyal and sticking around. And yes, they know that times have been tough. So we're going to give you a bonus. But in order to take advantage of this holiday bonus, you've got to fill out your personal information here. And people did it. Okay? Again, I really like the idea that you've got to test and simulate what bad guys are going to do. Yes. So some of this bad GoDaddy, that was a bad thing to do, I don't agree with. I think it was a right thing to do. The concept was good. I just think it was dirty pool the way they crafted the email, because hackers likely didn't have the same level of information of what they presented to their staff. Yes, a simulated phishing email should look legitimate. Yes, it should be designed to try to trick people into clicking it. You're trying to get them to take those steps, Who's it coming from? Is it just coming to me? Is it going to a whole bunch of people? Is there an attachment? Was I expecting an attachment? What's that hyperlink? Where's it trying to take me to? Is it asking me for personal information? This is all the stuff that should be going through our heads every time we look at an email. Just GoDaddy happened to thread in a lot of legitimate information to convince people, legitimate information that outside entities wouldn't have known, okay? Hackers would not known of some of this information, and gave it to their staff. And then GoDaddy's like, bad employee, bad. You shouldn't have filled that information out. And you're right. GoDaddy, you're absolutely right. They shouldn't have. But should you have used that tact and that information to try to con them? And hey, you just told them they're going to get a Christmas bonus, but instead you kind of sucker punched them, right? Oh, yeah, I'm an employee. This is awesome. My company loves me. They know we're going through these troubles, the pandemic, all the troubles, the financial hardships. I'm going to fill that out and get my Christmas bonus. Thank you, Mr. Employer. I so appreciate the efforts of seeing the hard work that we're doing and the challenges we're going through to try to keep our company great. I so appreciate getting a bonus. What? No bonus? And you're going to slap me in the side of the head for having filled out information? Yeah, okay. That probably was not a good play on the part of GoDaddy. So, yes, I think they should be getting a little poo-pooed for having done what they did. It's breaking news. It kind of came out Christmas Day of what happened. Are they wrong to have done the testing? No. No, they should be testing. They should be trying to make things look real. I just don't think they should have used internal information that the bad guys wouldn't have known about to trick their own employees, especially saying, hey guys, you're getting a bonus. No, you're not. You're getting slapped in the head.